What's up, guys? Fati the Afghan Mystic here. Happy summer solstice. Happy Cancer season. I wanted to pull a few cards for each sign in regards to what wants to be revisited during Mercury retrograde. So I'm going to post these for each sign separately, but for those of you who aren't super aware of like what Mercury retrograde is and kind of how it works. So I'm no astrologer. Not yet. I just do my own research, and because I'm so intuitive, like I'm always feeling when things are coming up and like feeling certain transits and things like that. So I felt intuitively before. I was like, in the like past week or so, because I believe that the shadow phase leading up to like our actual Mercury retrograde started on like between June 12th and 13th, and the actual retrograde starts on the 29th. So typically you'll have a shadow phase a week or two prior, as well as a week or two after. And then like the retrograde itself is about 3 weeks. So pretty much from now until, I don't know, like the first week of August, we'll be experiencing a Mercury retrograde in the sign of Cancer. And so Mercury is the planet of communication, basically communication, technology, things like that. So if you feel like you've been having technology, communication, travel, so on and so forth. I'm just going based off of the tidbits that I know and the things that come up from me and that I pay attention to. Of course, you can do your own research, which I always suggest, just so you can get more in touch and knowledgeable for like paying attention, what that means, what it looks like for you, what comes up for you, and things like that. So, typically they'll say that Mercury is the planet of communication, travel, technology, all the things that we use to communicate. So typically at this time, you'll see you may or may not have problems with your phone, your messages glitching, your email glitching, your laptop glitching, your car glitching. Again, travel, right? Like things that kind of disrupt our daily transportation, our daily communication, and the way that we kind of work and like get things across. So for me, I've definitely been experiencing issues with my phone. Is usually a big one. Either apps won't open, messages won't send, or they won't receive, or like things will just come up that's kind of chaotic, because you'll do the normal, I restarted my phone, I updated it, I cleared out my storage, like did all the things that you think you're supposed to do to make things work properly. But of course, no one's safe against a Mercury retrograde. It just happens. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. Mercury retrogrades technically are a really good invitation to revisit something from the past. So, people always say like not to sign new contracts, not to make big purchases, not to start anything new. For some people that's true, for some people it's not. It's just like during this time of a Mercury retrograde, things can happen that are unexpected, and they can be good, they can be bad, they can be whatever. Like good and bad, it's all relative, right? But just going into this season with an open mind and being a little more flexible, being more calm, would be super helpful, because it's like there's definitely a lot of communication issues. And like I said, it could be technical, it could be vocally, like when you're having conversations with people in person, on the phone, through email, like I said, paperwork, contracts, emails, flights. Somehow me and my friend always end up traveling during retrogrades. And so when that happens, like I do plan, like I make sure to pay attention to my email, to check my itinerary, to make sure that, to see if there's a delay, to see like kind of what's going on, just like making sure that you're prepared and like double checking everything. Again, paperwork, emails, messages, just like double checking things. If you feel like you have, I don't know, a gut feeling, like sometimes I'll have dreams or like a gut instinct that like something is wrong with my car, like whether it's my tires, maybe getting a flat tire, needing an oil change, like kind of something being wrong. It's better to be safe than sorry, you know? So you should, if you get an inkling of some sorts, definitely double check, get your stuff checked out, and just kind of be flexible, roll with the punches, you know? So yeah, I mean, it's definitely a good time to revisit things, like revisiting old projects, having feelings, memories, thoughts kind of surfacing from the past, and you're kind of like, what is that? Like, why is that coming up? You know, it's definitely coming up to be addressed. So pay attention to what those things are that are coming up for you. I, for example, have been dealing with, I'm having, okay, it's so hard to like speak. I've been experiencing thoughts and feelings and memories coming up from a past situation from actually a few years ago that did happen during this season, like in the month of June a few years ago. And it was definitely in the realm of like friendships, relationships, betrayals, infidelity, things like that I was involved in. And it's tough, man. Life's hard. Nobody's perfect. And like, I thought that I had dealt with the residual feelings and just like thoughts and things about those other people, about myself, about just like the situation overall, like things that happened, you know? So for me, we're also in the middle of a thunderstorm right now. It just started. So I feel like that's a good sign for a cleanse, but yeah, kind of crazy. So yeah, just like, I don't think for me that that's a coincidence that it's coming up, especially because I'm about to go on a trip back home, where I used to live and where all of that tumultuousness happened. So it's not that I haven't been back since it happened. It's just, you know, as you grow, as the years go by, as you change, like you learn things, different things come up, different things change about you. Like you're not the same person, and you have different perspective, ideally, right? Like you grow. So for me, I think it's interesting that I'm going back home, even though I have already visited previously, but to like have those kind of emotions and thoughts and feelings and like memories coming up, because I'm like, okay, what is it? Like, what is being called for me to revisit? What is it that I need to release? What is it that I maybe need to face that I haven't? You know, what is it that I need to gain clarity or understanding on? And so that's what's coming up for me this retrograde. On top of that, because, okay, so every retrograde is usually in a different sign, right? So this Mercury retrograde is in the sign of Cancer. And Cancer overall is the sign in the energy of the home, family life, motherhood, relationships, caring, nurturing, love, understanding. It's, yeah, very home, family, friend, relationship based. And so kind of think about and acknowledge like the places that maybe you feel things coming up. To be forthcoming, I am an eldest daughter, and I'm kind of going through some stuff with like my mom and my younger sister right now. And I feel like this happens all the time, but like right now they're kind of going through their own stuff and their own transition and their own change. And as an oldest, you know, it's hard to watch sometimes because like you just want everyone to get along. I'm a Pisces after all. I'm soft in my heart and I just want everyone to be happy. But it makes sense to me that at this time, these are the themes that are coming up because we're in Cancer season and Mercury is retrograde in Cancer. So I feel like it's going to be very... Did you guys see that lightning? It's going to be very prevalent, you know, in the spaces that like we usually feel safe, we feel nurtured, or we don't, you know, the opposite. So again, like your home, your relationships, your family life, your friend life, the things that you feel close to, the things that, you know, make you feel nurtured or safe, or vice versa, you know? So, I mean, for me, it definitely makes sense that this is happening. So, I don't know if any of that was clear or if I'm rambling. To be honest with you, my weekend was really exhausting, and I was with my family for Father's Day. And if you come from a larger, also, you know, cultural foreign family, you know how like hectic that can be. Like, it's fun and we love each other, but it's also a lot of energy. It's a lot of personalities. It's a lot of noise. Like, there's just a lot going on. So I'm feeling really tired today. It's 6 p.m. on the East Coast, and I'm just barely like getting enough energy to do this now, because I was like, okay, I want to do something to feel like a little productive, because I did kind of bum it all day because I woke up really exhausted, and I was like, I'm just so drained. I don't want to do anything. And then knowing that like this thunderstorm's coming, you're just like, well, there's no point in doing anything now because it's fucking raining outside and you can't go do anything. Whether it's thunder and lightning, it's not safe. So what are you supposed to do? So I was like, okay, I'm going to, because I got this idea last night and I was thinking about it, and I was like, okay, well, I just posted readings for Cancer season because that just started. But then, you know, I have stuff coming up for me for this Mercury retrograde, and I know it's going to be like, it'll be kind of similar themes, but I think it'll still, of course, like every person's individual, so it'll be different for everyone. So I thought it would be an interesting idea to, you know, pull cards for themes for each sign on kind of maybe what to pay attention to during this Mercury retrograde, so that you can get the most out of it, but also, you know, give yourself and the people around you a little more compassion, and to just deal with these situations a little more gracefully, compassionately, you know, kind of being open and definitely more calm. I highly suggest, you know, like if you're feeling activated, if you're feeling frustrated, just like taking a step back and asserting your boundaries, but just kind of taking a step back and cooling off, you know, before having certain conversations, especially if you know that it's something that is highly activating for you. You know, we always want to grow, we want to learn, we want to be better. If you don't, I wish you the best, but I'm not for you. Like, I'm here to impart my wisdom and my lessons and my experiences and my life, and to be transparent and to be authentic and to be open, and to just like help others who also want to feel understood, who want to feel seen, who want to, you know, just like know that there's somebody else out there who's going through what you're going through, so that you kind of have like a sounding board and just, you know, somewhere to move forward, I guess. So this is me doing that. Thank you for listening. Like, subscribe, follow for more. I love you guys. I'm going to start getting into the readings. I just kind of wanted to post like a little snippet because I don't want to do a 13-minute intro to every single video, right? Like, this is Mercury retrograde. This is how I think about it. This is how I feel about it. These are the things that come up for me. Obviously there's more, so you can do your own research, but this is just like a little tidbit on, you know, kind of the things to expect. So as a refresher, Mercury in Cancer, Mercury retrograde in Cancer, area of home, family life, relationships, nurturing, love, peace, understanding, chaos. Mercury retrograde in general, communication, travel, movement, creation, contracts, buying things, doing things, you know, all of those. It's like a big umbrella term. So just being mindful at this time of the things that are coming up for you to revisit, reimagine, recreate, relieve, relive, all the re's, you know, reconsider. Did I say reconsider already? I probably did. I'm so tired. But yeah, so That's all, folks. I'm gonna get into these readings now. I love you.